Alan, what I particularly liked about your presentation was the brand name MyApp. I think the two prior presentations could do with picking out a unique name, and again, obviously, if you're moving forward, you need to register the trademark, and you probably have to do it in a manner to make sure that the app piece didn't conflict with Apple or somebody else. But I think there's potential there. The application area is a whole new wave coming on in terms of mobile technology. So I think you're into the right space. Could you just explain a little bit more in terms of the market? It needs to be much bigger to make it a worthwhile proposition for you to make a living or for an investor to get a return. Could you just explain the market size and a bit more about the market?
Well, in relation to the market, initially I just checked out what CIF had, and they had 3,000 construction-related people on their directory, and they charge €600 per year. And because I'm just at the very starting stage, I was looking at probably 8% of that. So realistically, I was just starting small on 250, and if I can just break even in the first year, I was happy. And then as I was trying to generate more revenue from the vendors who've been registered on it, but also through customers using it, I was trying to take 20% commission off them. I do realise I'll have to go further afield in the market, but I'm just new waters to start off with, so that's why I just said, well, 8% definitely a market I should be able to reach in the first year, and then if I get more expertise involved and get more confident in my product, then I should be able to target a bigger market. Thank you.
Alan, just I thought you mentioned something about an international involvement here. Could you explain a little bit more about that? How you get other companies or end users, to subscribe?
Yeah, that's a good question, Jan. In relation to the market I'm targeting at the moment, it's basically the UK and Ireland, because I'm aware of most of what the applications are using these two countries, because I came back from London at the beginning of last year. And that's why I just target that market, but I'll be also looking at the American market. The reason why I'm targeting this market, because some of them have the best of applications, but I'm trying to encompass the Irish market and kind of use indigenous applications that can be promoted. Essentially, this is a window of opportunity for everyone to be promoted internationally. And I think if you have a standard in the industry like this, I think you'll definitely get the consumers buying into it, and I think that's how I will grab more market. I mean, it's a two-way objective. I mean, you could have said that, oh, it's as big as the vendors, or is it as big as the customers using the market? I'm trying to target both of them.
It will have a constraint on funds if you want to promote it outside of your normal market.
Yeah, in the budget that I put together, I said I was generating a revenue of 52,400, and I think actually my cost came together, minus the capital cost I just threw in hypothetically. I think I had allowed something like only 10,000 for marketing, and that's a good point you're to make, and so I might have to review that.
Alan, two questions. First one being, have you undertaken any sort of startup business training?
No, I'm a researcher involved with CITA at the moment. In relation to startup business, I'm a chartered quantity surveyor with the MRICS, and I'm a chartered builder with the COB. I have gone back, I'm 32 years old, I'm going back in my early 20s. I started a subcontract in bricklayer's trade with my brother, so that's the only startup business I was involved in.
And you made a fortune out of that?
No, we didn't. We actually had to lay something like 400 blocks a day just to pay the labourers.
Here's the question I have before getting into market share, is that I have no idea what you're talking about. So could you explain in very simple terms who is the user and what are the applications you're talking about? So if I pay you €35 a month, am I getting access to a website, and what exactly is on that website that I can buy or avail of? What's the value proposition to me?
The website will be hosting generally your applications that are targeting the construction industry.
Can you ground it for me and give me an example?
Well, in relation to some of the previous gentlemen, like eTender could be on that directory, but fundamentally at the beginning I was actually looking for cloud computing applications that could be used in the directory.
So you're telling me I don't have to pay him, but I have to pay you to see his site?
What I'm telling you, Sean, is in relation to the research that I've done on this, the consumer actually desires a website that can help him pick a product, make comparisons on that product, and use the community as a whole to make that final purchasing decision on that product.
I still have no idea what you're talking about.
But
I go on the site, what do I see?
You see a directory of applications.
So you're telling me, is that like a golden page that I can see different providers?
Yes,
Wouldn't that have been a much easier thing to tell me?
Sorry.
That you're actually putting up a directory of services. Okay, and that's a hugely competitive place, Alan.
I agree, but I know with the RACFs themselves have iSurvey, and I don't know if there's actually much done on this in the Irish market in relation to get the Irish industry back on top again by using this window of a portal of opportunity. Granted, there is Capterra in the software industry that has something like 23,000 applications on it and a market of 3 million, and then you have Construction Review in the United States who do the exact same model. So I'm just taking this innovative idea and trying to bring it to Ireland, to Europe, to do the same concept. I'm aware that AC Bytes do the exact same thing in the States as well. Now these are, granted it's America, you're talking about a country of 240 million people, but I'm thinking if I can start off in the Irish industry to promote indigenous applications and then to bring in the UK, because some of their technology is fantastic for what I've been using. When I was in London, I was using applications for G&T that we had no idea of in Ireland. It's not the fact that they don't exist. People don't know where these applications are. Sometimes they get inundated with too many applications and they don't know where to find them. If we can act as some kind of broker to actually target them, like if you put in a search engine for what typical type of procurement route you're using, typical type of contract, we will then give you back the applications you need for that. If you're talking about pre-contract to post-contract, feasibility studies, you're talking about area planning, we'll give you a list of the best applications, the demos, the white papers, the blogs, all associated with that. That's giving back to the buyer what he needs. He needs to meet comparison. He wants to have a free market where he can pick and choose what application he needs, and that's what that directory will give him.
Good job, Alan.
Well rebutted, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
One question, go ahead.
Oh, it's getting off easy.
I think it does fill a gap in the market, right? But I think the pricing is probably wrong. Because basically, I think it does fill a gap in the market. It's an interesting offering, but the problem is the pricing is wrong. You've got a lot of SaaS offerings out there where people are looking to charge, €40, €50 per month for an actual service, whereas you're providing a directory of services. It seems to me it's more likely to charge something like about €10 a month. That's what the customer will pay. That's my view anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. Possibly people agree with that, Peter. I actually did the cash flow myself based on something like Google's actually charged €40, as I'm aware of, gentlemen. And I was just saying, if they're charging €40, even if I took that down to €35 and put the 20% commission on what Google would use, I'll be generating 2 revenues. But I take your valid point. I'm really doing this as part of PhD research, so if I had an accountant who, like Pat Tabler, I'm sure they'd be very helpful to me. And that's a valid point. Thanks, Peter. Anyone else want to shoot a question?
Sorry. Dan, do you want one more question?
Hi. I have a comment actually for yourself and also for the previous presenter. I feel for what you're going through because I'm actually developing a product myself right now, and it's very easy to get excited, to run away with yourself and to get very, very excited about the opportunity. So the one comment I would make, because this is what I'm going through right now, is slow down, do the research first. Look at whether there is a market available before you go and spend lots and lots and lots of your own money, because it's very, very painful when you've spent that money and you realise, I shouldn't have done that. I should have gone this route. And as I say, I'm speaking from experience. It is a very painful experience when you get it wrong, even if it's only a couple of thousand or whatever. It's a couple of thousand you could have spent somewhere else. And to a startup business, that's a lot of money. So it would also make your pitch and future pitches much clearer in terms of this is what I'm targeting, this is why I'm targeting this, here's my data. So that's just a comment for both of you.
That's an excellent comment. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks.